Welcome to Healing the Spirit, a space where we awaken our creativity, deepen our connections, and remember who we are through the lens of astrology, archetypes, and art making. I'm your host, Jonathan Coe. Hello, everyone. This is a 5-minute preview of an episode that I'm releasing only for Substack paying members. So I started the Substack earlier this year in order to, one, support the podcast, and two, support me in delivering this podcast to you. I've heard from many of you that this podcast has been your companion over the years, and I'm so grateful for your time and your attention. And this podcast is my home. I've really, really loved creating this podcast. It has been maybe my favorite creative project throughout my entire life. And if you join the Substack, you can receive access to these episodes, which usually are about 15 to 30 minutes. And I release 1 to 2 every single month. They really are a combination of a deep personal share and some teachings. You'll also get access to essays and you'll get access to study notes. And starting March 2026, we are going to explore the I Ching. Every month, we're going to look at one hexagram. So if that sounds exciting, if that sounds like a journey you want to take on with me, then I encourage you to support us on the Substack. You can support for as little as $5 a month or $50 a year. And for those of you who would like to support even more, you can support through the founding member tier. And the founding member tier will receive an annual 20-minute complimentary recorded tarot reading. So every year that you choose to continue to support the Substack, you will receive a 20-minute reading from me. So if all of that sounds exciting, head on over to jonathancoofficial.substack.com/subscribe and you'll be able to receive all the subscriber benefits. All right, let's get to the episode. Hello. I want to record a conversation, uh, two-way conversation, because you're listening, and as you're listening, I'm sure things will come up for you as well about when your authenticity triggers other people. So let me paint the picture for you. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where maybe you were asked a question and you responded honestly and maybe spontaneously, and then you find that the other person got really triggered? Have you found yourself expressing your truth, both in words and in deed, and you received feedback that somehow you have wronged the other person? I recently found myself in a situation where I shared an honest and transparent contemplation about where I was at, something that was very much in that red hot zone of, oh yeah, I'm thinking about this right now. This is really up for me. This is really alive. And it wasn't unsolicited. It was actually somebody asked me to share my experience. It was within the context of a semi-public forum, and I could tell that the person sitting across from me was getting uncomfortable by how deeply I went with my response. And this is a really interesting experience because I'm very familiar with it. For as long as I can remember, even as a child, I know that when I let myself talk and express myself fully, I often get a reaction out of people. I could tell specifically adults, but also other children would get uncomfortable. Some people would start to get really aggressive towards me. And I always found this to be such an interesting experience because when I am really in my truth and in my body, I could tell that this isn't about me. And of course, I'm human and I get hurt as well, right? I have my own emotional responses to this. And I also have my own story about what it means to not be received, to not have my self expression be fully seen, fully welcome, right? And I get a lot of messages growing up that either this is not the appropriate time to talk about this, or this is not the appropriate way to talk about it, which are all of it, right? All of it are forms of control. So I'm noticing that this is really coming up for me for many reasons. I can talk about it endlessly. I think this is really what's up for me this year since my birthday. I entered a first house perfection year ruled by Mercury and Pisces in the seventh house. So I think this awareness of how my presence, my words impact other people is really alive for me at the moment. And also, I am being asked to really look at places within myself where I tend towards collapsing or fawning or adjusting my self expression to the other person's comfort rather than really staying with what wants to come through me. And this is also a conversation I have had multiple times ad nauseum with clients, with students, because a lot of people in my space, and perhaps this also applies to you, want to share their work publicly. They want to be a creative who share their gifts and their perspectives with other people, with the world, with the internet. And if you want to share your work publicly, this is unavoidable, right? You are going to, no matter how you meticulously shape your message, no matter how you try your best to make sure that you cover all angles and you soften the blow as much as possible. When you share something that is coming from a place of truth, you are going to impact other people. It's going to land for some people as a little bit triggering, as a little bit activating on some level.